Dr. Fitzgerald.
Yes?
There's a question there with a family of 3 that's going outside, and do they need to stay away from themselves 6 feet apart?
In your house, if you are sleeping together, it's impossible to stay 6 feet apart from those very close, what we call household contacts. So that family of 3, if that's their 3 people, we know that that's impossible. So those 3 people need to treat themselves like one person, and they stay 6 feet from everybody else.
好，那真就别多，就不得弄。那是回答，那妈妈爹都那比这个米嘛的记住带你嘛的亲戚那边嘛那多心的，你那个因妈妈就记带过，但的哈很大school stand on的比米记住的，我那个跟那 6 feet away， 我就记带过。
If one of those 3 people catches it, all of them will catch it.
别个那我那个好像个是那种个什么的别个那。So matode kita when wa kwezi se mo tuwa no jam tota no na hi 4978732. Radio. Aha. Ma po live no hi po chit man ma live. Dan mo jam kwezi mi tuwa ja got kwezi mo ne to wonish. Aha. Mhm. Mhm. Go. Eng no wa kwezi mo da. Eng wa je wa no kweta no. Mr. Chamantia ko hongji to eng na wa si hin. Mhm. Eng go ha. Mhm. 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 Ko hop mi da ko kwez mo ka mi ami si ni che no che mi no ko ha hop mi da. Dr. Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
This question is from a man in the community, and
Yes.
he's saying that this transmission of the virus, is it coming from people that are international travels, or is it spreading faster with people that are spreading it like in the community, like in the region, like Canada?
In Canada and in Newfoundland, there has been what we call community spread already.
Is the transmission of the disease bigger than the ones that are passing it on by international travel? Is that, I think that's what he's asking.
Yes. And every time we hear about a new case, we know that new case was actually sick at least new case that we hear about every day as being somebody who has been walking around the community, and if they haven't been 6 feet away from everybody all the time, infecting other people.
Just stå bra. Mä puhutaan nimeni behainu hahneinu naajeitisena. Ego, ei no, haasat support nei no kwes monogissa na no massen ha. Ego. Dr. Fitzgerald, last question from that man was there's not very many nurses in Sheshatshiu. So if there's an outbreak here in the community, is there a plan for more nurses to be brought in?
I know that that Prime Minister Trudeau put aside, I think, $30 million for Indigenous communities for funding for COVID-19. In your community, you don't have very many nurses, and I know that Mary Pia and the Sheshatshiu Innu First Nation has been looking at trying to get more nurses. But once you get sick with this, a nurse cannot help you very much. We really need to prevent getting sick.
So, neno yu ne togoni ha. Togoni zinde yu ne chesmadio jiji no eto behwanit nurse sa mishkod ne yu ne etwa patniu jaga kas magne aguhuna. E un jiji hui jidi hirchi na nyu jaga kas mag aguhun. Prevention in higadma. And no joy to the Nanjina. Hello? Hello? Do you go over here? Okay, just a minute. Dr. Fitzgerald?
Yes?
Okay, the other question is, they said that is the number that's confirmed now, is that Newfoundland only, like St. Anthony, or is that
Hello?
Labrador also?
Hello?
There are
Hello?
4 cases in the Labrador
Hello?
Rental region.
Hello?
Sorry, 3 cases.
The one.
There are 3 cases in the Labrador
The
Rental
one.
region. And in the province,
Har
they had it
Ingen
in the whole province. They've started to see more and more and more and more and more. There are 3 cases in our region. And in our region, there are another 13 people who are being investigated. That means that they have symptoms or that they have reason to think that they've been exposed to it. And there are contacts of, there are 31 people. So in our region, let's do the math, 3, there's almost 50 people who are either contacts, people under investigation, or have actually had the disease. You need to that is why I say, and those are only the people we know about. That is why I say we need to behave as if every single person could give us the disease.
We're going to
It
do
spreads fast.
Okay, I'm going to translate what. Try and remember what you just said.
Okay. Okay.
Ne you do going to the Hiji nan Labrador Grenfell region na. Nastita hod one jadido. Eago hidido. And how many was in the province you said?
I don't remember from yesterday. I thought it was 24, but I don't remember. I can look it up. I'll look it up, okay?
Okay.
I'll tell you where I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up on the COVID-19 website for Newfoundland and Labrador.
Do send the more no time that hit niggas no one's at the Newfoundland Labrador. Eago hida. Tahi do send them the website here that I know COVID-19.
So there are 24 cases in Newfoundland and Labrador as of March 23rd. So as of yesterday at 3 o'clock, there were 24 cases. Every day at about 1 or 2 o'clock, the medical officer of health goes on TV and announces how many more cases there are. So every day we're going to hear about more.
On the province, you in the Newfoundland Labrador, ni no ho no ta to ha hido. Eago hidwan jadido. And magay no jagay skabanone staido najita honido. Oh, katakwan no to semoino.
Hello?
Question gunanda.
Hello?
Hello? Huh? And go hop me down, I know. Dr. Fitzgerald, another question is the virus airborne?
The virus goes through the air. That's why you need to spend, it's spread by contact and by what we call respiratory. So that's why you need to cover your cough into your elbow or into a tissue and throw it out, then wash your hands.
Hello?
I go ahead you. Si pampanon in the era airborne na go niyo. Okay, take a question. Hello? Yeah. Hi. Okay, I'll ask that. Dr. Fitzgerald, another question is, you see a lot of people on the news or on TV wearing the gloves and the mask. Does it really help? Is it effective?
Hello?
Using
So
that?
if you are less than
Hello?
6 feet away from someone who has the disease,
No, hold on.
and you have to touch them,
Hold
then
on.
you have to wear the mask, the gloves, the face shield, and the gown. If you are with somebody who has the disease or who you're worried has the disease, and you have to be less than 6 feet away from them, that's what you have to wear. That's why, since nobody can wear those things all the time, you need to be spread apart.
Hello? Coba si mana cuman? Enggak, coba. Enggak, coba cuma hot. Another question is, when a person is traveling outside the province or outside the, when they come back, when they self-isolate, when they come out after isolation after 2 weeks and they have no symptoms, do they still have to isolate themselves?
Hello?
What
Hello?
do you mean by isolate themselves when they
Uh-huh.
come out? You
Hamda.
mean what we're calling social distancing?
Yeah.
Everyone has to social distance all the time. Because that person could come out of isolation, come out of their house, and the first person they see catch it from them.
So you can still catch it twice, is what you're saying?
Well, we don't know that for sure, probably, since you could catch other infections twice.
Yeah.
We don't know that about corona, but when you said someone traveled, the reason they are to stay home in their house, self-isolate, is that we want to make sure they don't have it. Then after 14 days, we will know if they didn't get sick that they didn't have it. But then when they go out again, they could catch it from the next person.
Okay.
They
So
see.
everybody has to social
So
distance.
it is, yeah, everybody has to social distance all the time.
Okay.
6 feet, wash your hands, cough into your elbow.
这个是怎么说？啊。我都问知道，应该会是怎么？Gotta help me out, huh? Dr. Fitzgerald, there's a question here about if there is an outbreak in our community. Is there a protocol that's going to be followed? Where are the people going to be put? Like, if they get sick?
The hospital is working very hard to prepare for that. We call that surge. That's like a big amount of people working on getting more supplies, getting more ventilators, opening up places. All of the people who could be sent out of the hospital have already been sent out. They've started putting equipment in areas of the hospital to take care of people. But we know that that is a small hospital, and we don't have a lot of extra staff. So everything that we do now is the time when we have to be very strict. Everything we do now will decide whether or not we're going to get through this well or get through this with a lot of devastation. So yes, there are plans. There are plans at the hospital for changing the ER, for putting sick people in the operating room. All of those plans are underway at the hospital, and I understand the Sheshatshiu Innu First Nation and the chiefs and the band council are also making plans for your community, for isolation areas there, for if people need to be isolated away from everyone else. So yes, there are plans in place, but everybody right now has a lot of power, and the power that everybody has is to not catch this virus.
So I'm not gonna. Ito picture ko. Aha. Hoppe dadanas. Aha. Okay, I'll go more. Oh. Another question, doctor, is I know there's no cure. There's no cure for the virus right now, but in your professional opinion, do you think there will be?
Hello?
I don't know.
Họp nó chỉ hiểu đó. Xong đó.
I don't know. I don't know. I know that there are a lot of viruses that don't have cures. There aren't a lot of viruses that do have cures.
Okay. Hello? Mm-hmm. 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 I'll go for more. Oh, another question here is when there's someone in the house that's sick, even like a little cough, should they still self-isolate themselves?
94.
So
Hello?
they should call 811. I know they will have to wait. I know that they've put a lot more nurses working on 811. But if you have a little cough, you have time to wait. If you would like, I can go through the particulars of this person and tell you about what would be recommended for this person, if you think that would be helpful. But the main thing is call 811 to see if you need to worry or not about COVID. But everybody needs to worry about COVID. Everybody needs to pretend that everybody they see has it.
Owen stod ordet, si hört på dig no io kasnoen wat meg io kasnoen ei no basically tai io ne hit up meg deo kunendam no ag hono ya pegun jui no protect o dadi hunjina ji jiga kasnya go hona jiga no pam pan bona go hona to hello Another question, doctor, is the virus in Goose Bay now?
The public health officials told us that the virus is in Labrador Health Region and that there are people isolated for the virus.
The one day he Labrador Grenfell Region, you know, the one he no negistja go hona miswed isolate na do da di hoten doji wanjir ga hoji do. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Chiko ji jamuna juan? Bueno, Jin. Ego förstår det. Ego I know. Ito mabihit ko I know. Stat peda unes staticness.
We know that.
Go help me the heart. Help me. Okay, another question is when somebody is tested for the virus, And what happens after that? Like, do they tell them to go home and what?
So they assess them to see if they are very sick, and if they are very sick, they stay in the hospital. But most people who are tested for the virus go home and stay home. And most people won't need to go to the hospital.
Egune yone wanje tosin manji jago hi kwenda. Pero nemas jago hi jenda hoji when you wamba wanje jetnande to wonja bida. Yogam jago hi jenda hoji to homano wanje jodi do ji the hitat ne wijwada Chagaino pe hop matwana. Chwano. Ah. I'm going to help with more. Dr. Fitzgerald, another question is, are the testing kits available for our community now?
Yes.
Help me that.
Call the people in your community can get tested. They call 811 to find out how and if they need testing.
Eguyu ehiyo tokonana na testing kits yo nena tokonish kwasit na kunen mojenda ande he de tokonja bisida. Mokwena ino agu haji no inagunji ji test do dona.
I'll tell you what the test is. The test is a swab, like a Q-tip in your nose. And the nurses can do that. You call 811, and those nurses will tell you what to do. We'll see whether or not you need a test. And then they will tell you where and when to go to get the test.
Okay. Just a minute. Hello?
Hello?
To be done. In a face mask.
There's a lot you can do. There's a lot of things that
Another question is it okay? Is it okay if people make their own masks so that to protect themselves?
I don't know.
Like a face mask, he said. Like people are making their own, I think.
Are they?
I think so.
It certainly doesn't allow you to get less than 6 feet close to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I would do a lot of research before I relied on a homemade mask.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends on what you know about face masks.
Yeah.
I don't know much about face masks.
Okay, just a minute. So one of us reach me. Hello? To be done. Dr. Fitzgerald, another question is, how bad do the symptoms have to be for you to go to call 811? And also, and what are the differences between the symptoms of the COVID-19 also with the flu virus?
The symptoms are the same as the flu virus.
So the same as both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fever, cough, breathing difficulties. Those are the same for the flu and for COVID. To answer your first question, you can call 811 if you have fever or cough or new or worsening or trouble breathing. So you can call 811. If you use a computer, you can also go on a website called Healthline 811.
Hey, will you
That-
need to
that will-
stano chita hune?
So if people are comfortable using a computer, then that's another thing they can do, and that will tell you whether or not to call 811.
In the job stano chita hune na horse bake jai mano you ain't gonna know did you go to make sure when I yet you up did you know send to make you done that na what did you the go nik mak dan hit the home we got I got that so it mag we sno jwana tahida na chita hun amy green na horse bake I watch the one I see him who bet that and go more. Another question is why are people not being given out hand sanitizers?
Because there isn't enough. Because governments don't pay for hand sanitizers for everyone. Because we have to choose where we're going to spend our money as governments. But the other thing is that soap and water is just as good. Soap is cheap, and we have nice, clean, running water. You need to wash your hands and your wrists for 30 seconds. Then dry the hands and turn off the tap with the elbows.
Okay.
Soap and water is just as good as hand sanitizer. It's more inconvenient. It's slower. It's 30 seconds instead of 2 seconds. But that's only 28 seconds. We can afford 28 seconds.
Okay. Next question. Hello? Toronto. Uh-huh. Go more. Another question, doctor, is can the virus be transmitted through household pets, like human transmission to animal or animal to human?
I don't know. But
Pamina?
hello?
Hello?
I don't know, but in general, your household pets should be, one of your 10 people. We know that the virus can go to the pets. We just don't know if it can come back to us. So pets could be a problem. We don't know for sure.
Okay. Next question. Hello? Ah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's more. Another question, doctor, is are people that are in the older age more likely to have this virus, or the young ones like 10, 9, 8 years old?
anybody can get this virus, but the older people are more likely to die.
Okay. That's another question. Hello? Ah. Another question is, can this virus be on clothing?
Yes, that's why the hand washing is so important. We know that it can live on surfaces. So every hand washing and keeping your hands away from your face will mean that you won't breathe in the virus from when you touch things.
Okay, next question. Hello? Ah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Good question. Another question from the community member is a person that's high risk, like somebody with diabetes, high blood pressure, stuff like that. Are they? Should they be working? Should they be in the community working?
They should be 6 feet away from everybody. They should wash their hands. They should, every workplace is being encouraged to, as much as possible, have work from home. So if that person can work from home, that's much safer.
It is for a community member that's working in the community with clients, like in a house. You know what I mean? Like with clients.
It's very difficult for them to be to maintain a 10-person circle, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very difficult for them. That's not ideal.
Okay. Next question. Hello? In the region?
Pauline, are you asking me?
No, I'm talking to someone on the phone.
Okay.
They're asking a question. Just a minute. Can you say that again? Sorry. In our province? Yeah. Okay, I'll ask a question. The people that are, those 3 people that are confirmed cases in our region, are they self-isolating?
Yes. Yes.
Help me now. So yes?
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Hello? Mm-hmm. Another question is those young children that are epileptic, are they high risk also?
I don't know. In general, it's been older people and people, adults with diseases. Epilepsy sometimes goes with other diseases and sometimes it doesn't. So it's hard to comment on epilepsy alone. Lots of children who have epilepsy because they have other problems.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the epilepsy alone wouldn't put them at more than average risk. Everyone has risk.
Okay, next question. Hello? Ah. Mm-hmm. Go good. Okay. Oh. Another question is when people go to grocery stores and they buy their food, the food that they bring home, do they have to sanitize it? Like, do they have to sanitize it? He said. Like,
It's very difficult to sanitize everything that you will ever touch. Probably impossible. That's why washing your hands after you touch anything is so important. As well, cleaning off things in your house that you touch a lot, like all the doorknobs, all the knobs for the sink, the toilet flusher, the cell phone, the remote control. So cleaning things you touch a lot and washing your hands will prevent any bugs that are on those surfaces from going to your face, because your hands are what touches your face. And then you breathe in the virus.
okay, next question. Egun no yun jishkai matai no Vijaji wana start ne nani unde hi cheat na na ta. Egun na go yuji manan nei ga mat cheat na yun na. Hamida. Na juji start budak stiji na yun. Ne no way no guy hit squad mark we go the nurses up. Hamida. Hello. Hello. I'm just waiting for calls to come in, Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pauline, was there anything that you've been hearing, any rumors that you've been hearing, or anything that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, another question. Just a minute. Hello? Did you go on? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another question, Doctor, is if it does happen that somebody does get the virus, and let's say this person is going to die, can the family go see them?
Well, probably not. If they choose to isolate as a family, maybe. That would have to be worked out at the time with the dying person and their family. If that family chose to stay with the dying person and isolate as a family. But right now, the hospital is saying no visitors for anybody except the dying. And then if that dying person has a disease that could spread everywhere, that's a problem. I guess the person asking this question understands point, it's going to have to be decided with the family and see how much the family wants to isolate themselves.
Okay. Hello? Hello?为什么 Another question, doctor, is if somebody doesn't follow the protocols, the things that are being set in place to protect our families, and somebody does get the virus and they bring it to a household, how would that look like? What is that considered?
Well, there are laws. There's a law right now around travel and the reasons that you are absolutely required to self-isolate. Those ones are around travel. The ones that there's a law around. So you can go to jail or be fined if you travel outside the province and you don't self-isolate. So if you travel, you have to self-isolate, or else you can go to jail or be fined. Your question, though, was a bit broader. It was around if somebody just doesn't follow the rules at all, catches the virus. So there are laws around self-isolation, around travel, and then there are the rules that everybody should follow. Now, if people don't follow those rules, they cause harm to other people. But they don't necessarily go to jail. They get sick and they cause harm to other people.
So in that case, someone does bring it to a household, and that person that gets sick in that household dies. How does that look like? What is that considered?
I don't know. That hasn't been tested yet.
Okay, next question.
What does it sound like to you?
I don't know. I guess somebody was saying that, is that considered manslaughter?
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right?
It hasn't been tested yet.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Hello? Another question, doctor, is you're saying that it's a good idea for people to go on the road, setting up tents and stuff like that. What about going like in the country, like with a plane, and you stay there, and is that considered more safe?
Well, when I think about that, I think about, what could happen if somebody got sick flying in there, whether they got sick from COVID or not. But there's that. And then there's the pilot. What if the pilot had the sickness and spread it to everybody who was flying in? So I think the isolation of flying in carries with it some risk. The people who do that would have to understand that that's the risk, that if they get sick, they are a long way away from anything.
Plexiglass, a little bigger room
Okay.
inside.
So ne yun to ganisa hem no yung miskota ne jui mam na the new check ma ko hajina when I know sutnete po hata ega senda ga ino a hi na ha ko ne te ta ji jam stia ko hajia jo ino kusto ko no yara ane ga to de to wen hete te tena amma ga to ji de to isko sutnete tena ne jui mam na no. Okay, next question. Hello? Hello? Aha. Uh-huh.
Maybe what we can do is after this is all clean, we don't need to come here. You just put us on the air.
Mhm. Oh, quite small. Another question, doctor, is why is why is this person that has confirmed case in Goose Bay? Why is it not being shared? Where they went and who have they been in contact with? Like the ones that traveled outside of the province. Why is that not being shared?
Well, I don't write the privacy legislation, but it's when I've heard them talk about it on the TV, they say it's because of privacy legislation. Also, because the person is sick and needs to get better and not be bothered by everybody calling them. But to me, the smart thing about that for all of us is that it means that we have to think that it could be our neighbor, it could be the person driving past us, it could be the person walking past us who's disobeyed the rules, it could be anyone. So the reason that's why is because of privacy issues, that they don't release exactly where, exactly who, exactly how they traveled, because of privacy issues.
Okay. Thank you. Next question. Hello? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Doctors, another question that came in is question comes from they said that if a person should get the virus and then they pass away, can that family member be buried with their I guess what they're saying is can is it dangerous for that body to be like handled? Like, is the virus still there?
I don't know. I don't know how long the virus lives in the body. Why do you ask?
This question came from the community member.
Okay. Would they normally touch the dead body and things?
Well,
afterwards?
with the way our community does the funerals and stuff like that, there's a lot of people like gathering together. There's people that come to the houses to comfort the people that they lost their family member. I guess that's why they're asking this question is.
Okay. So you can't have gatherings more than 10 people. That's the law right now. So when funerals happen, people will have to use more social media and more FaceTime and more phone for those funerals. You can't have more than 10 people together. That's the law. These funerals have been a place. Well, you saw in St. John's one of the. That's where the spread happened from one of the cases was at a funeral. As far as the body goes, I don't know how long the virus stays in the body.
Okay. You think is that something you can find out?
I can. I can try to see what the protocols are around managing the body. How I could get it back to you, okay, Pauline? Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good. Next question. Hello. Go. Another question that came in is the virus airborne?
Yes, it goes through the air, and you breathe it in.
Got the.
People are using the word airborne. I think maybe that's coming from when we're talking about personal protective equipment at the hospital. Is that why people are saying airborne?
I think that's why, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there are, but basically the message is yes, it goes through the air when you sneeze, when you have the virus, and it's in your sneezing, in those droplets that come out, those droplets spreading to another person's mouth and breathing in. That's how it spreads.
Ego yun airborne heyo airborne na gunyo. And nobody na go you jaga pe hop mantwena 6 feet away just now hine when no besi hino etaja. Jaga mom we do not more than 10 people you. Okay, next question. Hello? Hello? Uh-huh. Hello? No, ain't no cutout suspend. Mm-hmm. How good more? Same caller. She was talking about she was talking about the like the people in our region that were confirmed cases.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that letting people know who they are, but letting people know like where they have been, like who have they been in contact with. I guess that's what the question is.
Well, anybody who's been in contact. So it was a woman who was off of a cruise ship. All of her contacts have been traced, and now they're tracing all the contacts of those contacts. And they've isolated some of those contacts, and they've tested all of those contacts. So if you have been a contact, you would have been called by public health.
Okay. So ne yune doon isa hinago iti tainde tade yago hadwena hanja no nanto gas no gunabna ti to sen gwinja ti testo da gwinja yago hinago geji e uga tai no emi gwinda no katai no nanto gas no gwina no puto pasta go na chegi hinago agi ha gas no wana ne isko na no ne yago ha to tsbani de ka tak no tsbani e wone no chawa chai ha na gas no wana chi magni hina na pe ka pe hop ma to na e ha na no gas no chi to sen mani to ya ko higon o boy ko higon. Okay, next question. Hello? Mhm. Mhm. And go how goes mo. Oh. Another question from community member is do they know how old this virus is? Is this a new virus? Is it like she was saying that it's so fast that everybody's isolating themselves in their houses now, like this happened like so quickly, so or is this an old virus? Was it around long ago?
That's the thing about this virus. Nobody on earth ever had this virus before 2019 in China. They think this virus spread from the food markets, from animals in a food market in China to people. And then once it started to spread to people, more and more people got sick. Nobody has any immunity to this virus. That's why it's so dangerous.
Coronavirus. That's
why it's called COVID-19. 2019 is when it first came to our world, to humans.
COVID-19 in 2019 cheese benonia go honyo. En nobody he got it neither. Oh no, ji homoya go honyo en no got the one got the guayune to one to ya we ji gama ne to the cake and that. Okay, next question. Hello? Hello? To one. Mhm. Uh-huh. I will go to what? Oh. Another question that came in is there are people in our communities or in the that came from out of the province, I guess, and you see them around in the community walking around. Is there something that's going to be done about that?
Yeah, you should report them to the police. There's a form that you can also use to report it. Again, that form is on the COVID-19 website. But if anybody traveling, specific rules are individuals who have arrived to Newfoundland and Labrador from outside Canada after March 14th at 7 p.m. need to self-isolate for 2 weeks. Individuals who have arrived to Newfoundland and Labrador from Hubei province in China, Iran, or Italy before March 14th need to self-isolate for 2 weeks. And the newer one is individuals who have arrived from outside Newfoundland and Labrador on or after March 20th, so that's Friday, this March 20th, need to self-isolate for 2 weeks. Those are the law, and there's a form you can fill out to report it, or you can just call the police and they can help you with that. So the 14th for China or international, anybody who's out and about and have traveled internationally or from China since the 14th, and the 20th for people who have traveled from outside of Newfoundland and Labrador. The only exception to that is around Fairmont and around Blanc-Sablon.
Egune yoja jaji mam himot wen june sen me gote no ega na to da gona na jwana to homogagwa jaji mi or ka mone hitai no jaji we to me gote no sent me gui paja tai no ega na to da gwa ega na ha da gona jwana to mani jaji chapauti huit wen jatai no gaji maga da jaji mam himot. Okay, just a minute. Next question. Hello. Okay, I'll ask a question. Another question that just came in is the recovery rate that's coming in from around the world. What is it like?
So most people don't die. Most people who get the infection don't die. So if you think you have the infection, don't panic. You probably won't die. It depends on the age of the person and on how many other diseases they had, their risk. But it's always about risk. Nobody has a crystal ball to say, definitely this person will not survive. Definitely this person will survive. So when you are old or when you have multiple diseases, you are at much higher risk of dying or of needing to go on life support for this.
Okay, thank you for that. Next question. Hello? Ahead to one. Hello? You know Pauline? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 Uh-huh. Nếu quay nó có quay gì mà thế sự vậy hóa. Ai có hóa. Another question, concerned community member, doctor, is her parents are in St. John's right now in a hotel, and the restaurant part of that hotel, I guess, is closed down, and the people that came from just a minute, Hamida, the people that came like out of the province are being put into that hotel where they're staying. So what do you think about that? Like, what do you think they should do?
They should stay away from everyone else, and they should cover their cough, and they should wash their hands. They need to think that they need to stay away from all other people.
So that's all they can do, hey, is just self-isolate and keep away from the people that are other people that are staying in the hotel.
And wash their hands every 15 minutes. If they can find another place to stay that would be safer, they could do that. Everybody is trying to find the safest place to be.
Yeah. So ne no ka kwe ji jam winza jam no potai no ka pe hop mat wana chugai no pe si tat wana nena ka ka ko hanja ke ma cha ji put jam down ji no ata bande tana nit ne chago ma cho da ji to kon de ata bande ji ana nit potai man na pono ji no ji to no. Okay, next question. Yeah, nobody's there.
Gabriel has a question.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Fitzgerald.
Hello, Gabriel. Thank you for letting me be on the radio. And I heard that you told Mary Pia you didn't want her to come to the radio station because of social distancing.
Yeah.
And that's a wise choice.
Yes. I do have a couple of questions here. I have been thinking about it since I was listening to your talks with Pauline. And is there a way a virus can be killed through heat? Is it resistant to cold or heat?
We don't know.
Okay. Because I know a steam, when you have a hot shower, like let's just say you have a regular influenza flu, and I know it helps loosen up the mucus inside your throat, and then you kind of like cough it up outside of your body. I'm no doctor or expert, but it seems like every time I get sick every year, it seems like every time I do that, I feel a little bit better, but not totally. But would that be?
There's no question that the steam will help to move the phlegm, but that doesn't mean that the bugs, the virus that's in the phlegm dies. It means that the physical phlegm moves out of your body.
Yeah.
So it is helpful. It makes you feel better, but it doesn't protect anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is the COVID-19. What does it primarily attack your body?
You mean how do people get sick?
Yeah. What are the stages? Like the first day, second, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So at first you don't know you've gotten it.
Yeah.
And then some people don't have much more than the sniffles.
Yes.
And some people, the classic symptoms are the fever, shortness of breath, and worsening cough. And then some people get sicker than that and get a pneumonia. And some people get sicker than that and get what's called ARDS, which is where syndrome, that's called. So ARDS means your whole lungs get taken over and you're very, very sick. And then some people die from it.
Okay.
Most people do not die from this. Most people get sick and get better. But
Okay.
while they're getting sick and getting better, they spread it to others.
Okay. Does it usually lead this virus into your chest, into the airways inside your lungs to prevent you from breathing? Is that why this COVID-19 is so deadly?
The COVID-19 is so deadly because there is no known human immunity to it.
Yeah.
So nobody has any little bit of resistance to it.
Okay.
And it causes exactly as you say, it goes to the lungs, which is one of your vital organs.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's a vital organ, it's what helps you have oxygen in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
When your lungs get infected by a virus, that can be deadly.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, another caller is calling. Hello? Uh-huh. 뽀빼 나 에너지가 왜 밖에 있어? 아하. 그냥 이거 할 거지 뭐. 이거 합니다. Question from a community member. Doctor, is for a person that has acute pancreatitis and also asthma. So what would happen in that case if they would get the virus?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but if I was to bet, I would bet that that person is more likely to get sick than somebody who doesn't have acute pancreatitis and asthma. So they are vulnerable or at risk. They are more at risk than somebody who doesn't have any illnesses.
Okay. Egune yujane to gune shino etoino iskapano yone tajia go heto wina negato ne wan tua wina etona to guna kataga go hunaino iskapano ne jida hunaino etoin tajia go wa yo gede spetenda go jina go to mai tuan jiga pe ho ma go tuan jada jiga pe pi de dag na sha ji ne sa go huna no spetenda habida 저 좋아하는 거 뜨노. 거지 뭐. 이거 거지 뭐. Okay, same person. Another question, I guess, is what's going to be done about that person if they get sick? She has a really big concern, like for this family member, I guess. Is there something that can be done if he does get sick, this person?
Yes. If that person is very sick, they need to go to the hospital. When they call the hospital or the ambulance, they need to tell them that they're worried that it's COVID-19. When they go to the hospital, the doctors and the nurses will give them oxygen if they need it. They will give them IV therapy if they need it, and then they will talk to them about whether or not they will not like it.
It's almost done. It's just a big one big room and a little.
And what should they do if they suspect there is a that virus in the household? What should they do?
call 811.
Okay. Now you J Magnet da honu na hospital big start. Now that is no J well at the home week dan J tot mega dan J na hat Magnesta. Okay, another question. Hello? Go ahead with small. There you go. Another question from community member is if somebody does get the virus, is it good to take like medication like Tylenol, Advil, like cough medicine, stuff like that?
Not cough medicine. Tylenol is the safest. And Tylenol will help with fever and with pain. And so for most people, Tylenol is the safest. And they should drink lots of fluids. And if they are sick, they should completely isolate away from their family.
Cool. We are with you and what now we need cough medicines while we didn't what now we not everyone mano you ne Tylenol and mano you done it with you when you ne today who get you and I'm magano I had you and pain when and daggy hanging on what you would do not. Next question. Hello? Hello? 돌지가 뽑혀다. Steve, I'm not. And go in the Gigi stay with that. And go okay. Is there any cases that are recovering in our Labrador-Grenfell Health region?
I don't know how, I know that they are not in the hospital in Labrador-Grenfell Health region, but I don't know where they are in their illness trajectory. They're not listed as recovered yet.
But people do recover.
People do recover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Are they waiting to use the radio or what?
No, I think they're waiting to clean up. If you wanted to close down or you want to take a few more calls, we can do either or.
Okay. 10 more minutes. Doctor?
Mm-hmm.
10 more minutes of questions, I guess.
Okay,
And
10
then,
more minutes.
And then we'll be done.
Okay. I could just sort of say that I am very amazed and pleased that your community has decided to stop to have a checkpoint at its entrances, and I think that was a very smart move. At this point, your community has a lot of hope because so far there are no cases in Sheshatshiu that I know of. There are 3 cases in the Labrador-Grenfell Health region. Only leave the community if you have to. Yesterday, 200 vehicles left the community. Those were people coming and going, coughing, spreading. Those things are dangerous for your community. That's it.
Yune doni sai no mano yune to dengan you na dengan sai haji jika ya go naunda ne ke peste ni ne de ke boji ne de wan je na to monji wan je spent no ba da ma ke pitte ba da When did you know you and Donny ha? Do you know how the Nanino? I know. So got beat the Benesa, who the Hisa has it up. Gotta have a name. What doing? Hello? Ah. Mm-hmm. 아이고, 여기까지 뭐. 아이고. Doctor, the question was the confirmed cases that are in Labrador region. How are they doing? Are they getting better?
I presume so, since they're not in the hospital.
Okay. I had a question. Just a minute.
Dr. Fitzgerald, Chief wanted me to pass on that Chief and Council want to thank you very much for your time on this. Just doing this phone-in show and answering all the questions for the community members really means a lot, and it gives a lot of people peace of mind. So he wanted me to pass on that he wants to thank you very much for doing this for us and having all the information so that our community has all possible information on this.
Well, it was an honor to be invited, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Thanks.
One question I had, Dr. Fitzgerald, is the people that have diabetes. Why are they at risk more?
Well, having diabetes puts you at risk for getting infections of all kinds, and so that's for everybody with diabetes. And we don't really know exactly what it is about diabetes and COVID-19, but we know from the Chinese numbers, the Chinese have the most experience with this disease. And we know that people with diabetes who had COVID-19 in China were at much greater risk. In general, with diabetes, it's very important to control your sugars, to keep all your sugars less than 11 and your fasting less than 7. That's one of the things you can do to help your immunity.
All right, thank you. I think there's one more question, and then we'll stop right there. Okay?
Okay.
Just a minute. Hello. Hello, question. I'm not sure if this is a question, but they said that if it does come into our community, it's probably going to spread like fire, right? Like it's going to spread fast.
Well, it depends on what you do. If the one person who gets it in your community stays in their own room, doesn't cough on anybody, is isolated, then it won't spread. But if people don't isolate, then it will spread, and it will spread like wildfire. That's what we are all afraid of. So it's totally up to you. It's up to your community. It's up to every person's choice. You have a lot of control over this, and it's your actions that will make the difference here.
Okay, I think there's one more question. Just a minute. Hello? Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask that question. Okay. So another question is, I don't know if you can answer it, doctor, but question is, if there's people in the community that their internet is down and their repairmen are coming tomorrow, are they going to be let into the community?
I think that's As long as they're coming in for essential work, Chief and Council have put in rules that some of that stuff will be allowed.
You want to say it in the mic so that people can hear you?
No, you can give that information for me.
He was LGBT, but the workers can still drive in, like essential workers, you mean?
But yeah, essential workers, as long as they're doing essential work, that might be deemed essential work, based on the rules and regulations right now, as it's been for Chief and Council. That's allowed, but if that may change.
So as of now, right now, the repair workers, I guess they can still come in, but that could change. That's what they're saying. All right, that's all the questions we're going to take right now. And hanggang no kasi pay nan mo isa no kamatuta na ito ni himena. Bueno. Yeah.
Thank you, Pauline, for doing that.
Oh, thank
Wait,
you.
wait. Hello?
My pleasure to be invited.
Yeah.
And
What?
take care of one another.
Yeah, you too. Stay safe.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Just want to say, Chief and Lorraine are good to come.
Yeah.
Okay. Chief Hart and Lorraine Sheeny Rich will be on now shortly, so stay tuned.